welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany and I'm on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you click that button below. I would appreciate it. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about my favorite projects, which is hats. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. All right, so as you guys know, hats are probably my least favorite things to work on. However, when given the opportunity, I will take it because I definitely want to improve with my hats overall. I think that they are a great feature to have because a lot of companies do ask for hats. So a few videos back, hopefully you guys have seen it. It was a hat video that I actually posted and I had a lot of comments giving me helpful suggestions and tips, which we are going to be providing or applying to this project today. Of course, do keep in mind that project was done before I did find out my Ricoma machine was having issues. So hopefully those are two videos you have definitely seen because those are probably my two highest crafting videos at this exact moment. So I went ahead, sent the image off to my digitizer. I actually did receive the file back. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead, upload it to my Ricoma machine, and I'm actually gonna show you guys exactly how to change out your brackets, and then the tips that I learned how to properly hoop, and just different tips that I did learn. So let's cross fingers, this goes really smooth. All right, so of course, as you guys can currently see right now, I do have on my bracket bars that is for my hoops, and I need to go ahead and have this completely removed and then install my hat one. So with that, you're actually going to need your 4mm Allen key to go ahead and have both of these removed. I'm going to remove this one first, since as you guys can tell, my actual like needle head is out of the way. And to be honest, I just give it about 2 good turns just because you don't want to loosen these too much. Otherwise, when you reinstall them, all you're going to be doing is just going in circles, and that's not necessary. So, like I mentioned, my needle head was out of the way, but for this bar, you guys can maybe see, you probably can't, but I will come close in a moment. You guys will see where this is in the way, and I want to show you exactly how to move it. All right, so as you guys can see, this is my bar, and this is my needle head. So clearly if I input my Allen key, I really can't see too much what I'm doing. I mean, come on, I'm being a little exaggerating. However, I do want to just show you, while I keep moving the camera, exactly how to move this out of the way so then you have better access. So you're gonna come up to your screen and basically just hit the little 3 needles. If you click on that, as you guys can see, we are on needle 11. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit like needle 3, for example. And look, now it's out of my way and I have full access without anything bothering me, interrupting me. So let's go ahead and get that one removed. Okay, so with both of those out of the way, I do actually keep my hat hoop right below my machine right here. So all that you're going to do is your machine is going, or your hat product is going to look like this. This hole right here needs to go where this bar is. Okay, and these rollers need to go on this metal bar down below. Okay, so as you guys can see here, here are these metal rollers back here, and it basically needs to go on here where the hole is going through your bar here, okay? So that's exactly what you're gonna do. And now, as you guys can hopefully see, now we have the rollers on the track, so it allows it to move back and forth. All right, I don't know the size of this particular Allen key. It does not say. It's just very small, as you guys can see. I actually like, oh, I got some, I guess my, got me dirty. All right, so as you guys can see, it is very small here. And I particularly like it like that because when I screw it in, I actually go like this, just because it makes it much quicker for me. And then basically what happens is once I feel that it is finally tight, I will flip it to the other side and then of course apply more pressure. So what I mean by that is now I'm going to go in with it facing this way. I'm going to put it into the screw. And now I'm definitely going to make sure that this is extremely tight, because you need to make sure that these nuts are tight for when it is embroidering, you're getting the least amount of movement created from the physical bar itself. So look, I was able to get one full turn and almost a second full turn just by, you know, changing up the position of my key. So that's very helpful to know. That's definitely one thing that Rokoma did tell me is, you know, make sure that this is on nice and tight. I actually used to have my husband do it because he's a little bit stronger than me, but girl got to be independent when he's not here, and I have to figure it out. So those are the great tips that I've done, and now we are all set. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get that image loaded onto the computer, and then we're going to show you exactly how to hoop the hat. Okay guys, excuse the mess in the background. I am actually in my office because I don't have a physical clamp where I could install my actual, like, I don't even know the name of this, but anywho, this is what you need in order to hoop your hat. So I actually just put it on here, and you do have to tighten it down fairly well in order for this not to move. Obviously you might have just seen that shake. That's actually my entire desk shaking at the moment. So we got that, go ahead, got it secured, and then this is your hoop for your hat. Now, basically, if you see this little indentation right at the top where my thumb is in between, that is actually going to go towards the bracket, all right? So there's two things that I've actually learned. One thing is obviously with hats, always put a backing unless it's a hard structure hat. Then what I've learned is actually spray the hat in order to soften it because it is too hard. So that's tip number one. Again, tip number two, since I interrupted it, again, always do backing. One person did make in the notes in the comments to actually get backing that physically goes all the way around, almost to the point where it actually gets clipped in at the very bottom. I'm personally not going to do that. Yes, they did say in the comments, yeah, you're probably wasting fabric, but I'm just not personally going to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead with my little sheet. Now you can pick up specific tearaway sheets made for hats on Amazon. Personally, I just pick up a giant roll, the one you guys probably always see, and I just kind of just cut them up and, you know, do that because, again, hats are not usually a very common thing that I do work with. Another big thing, always, so now we're on tip 3, always unfasten the back, right? So you always want the back completely open. You want absolutely nothing in the way for that, okay? And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to flip back your sweatband here, and your sweatband is actually what's gonna go under this metal bracket right here. So let's go ahead. Do that. Another thing is when you are taking your actual ring and you're bringing it across, you want to, I'm cutting myself off. You want to make sure that this particular ring is tight. So you might need like a Phillips head in order to like adjust it a little bit. I think I might need that. Let me actually check it out in just a minute. Hold on. My answer is going to be yes. I definitely want this a little tight. I felt like, watch. I felt like, look how easy this was. Ready? Well, that's not it, but, oh my goodness. See, it's almost so loose it won't even stay. Like, look how easy that was. Like that's way too easy. It should be tighter than that. So let me go grab my Phillips. I don't know why when I hit start recording, it gets so dark in here and I'm not about to drag my ring light. So I do apologize for that. So I did grab my Phillips head, like I mentioned, and there's actually this little bar. I'm gonna show you guys. It's not even a bar, but this right here right here, you put your screwdriver in here, and if you see the hole, it allows you to make it looser or tighter. Because keep in mind, when it comes to hats, you're gonna have all different shapes and like, you know, thickness and things of that nature. So it is very common where you might have to adjust that. So I did go ahead and adjust the setting, and I'm gonna go ahead and put, sorry, I'm like too low. So I'm like, what am I doing? So again, we're gonna, I already did the first hat. I don't even know if you guys can see it right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, unfasten the back. We are going to put that back. And now we're gonna flip the sweatband, and I am gonna have to move, so bear with me. So basically, all that you are doing is you're actually aligning, there's a little dash on this metal piece. You're aligning that with the center of the hat. Now, of course, you will offset it just ever so slightly, because when you actually bring your fastener over, it will shift it slightly to the right. So that is very common. So I'm gonna go ahead, off center it. So now when I tighten it, it moved. All right, so here is another tip that I learned from multiple comments. Always use your clips. Racoma specifically said I didn't have to use it. I don't know if they said it because of the style of hat I was using, but everybody was commenting, no matter the style of the hat, always use your clips. Now they do come with technically 4 per hoop, but a lot of people are like, just use 2. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I do pull it a little bit and then clip it, and then pull it and clip it. And the reason they said to do this is because it helps create less movement with the hat by going ahead and securing it from the bottom. So now you can see I've secured it on both sides. My hat is hooped, my backing is on, and then basically you do have these 3 clips, and then it comes loose. So there you go. I will go ahead and list the Racoma video below. Their angles are a lot better. Obviously they have better lighting, better cameras, the whole shebang. But yeah, that's how I do it here. But if you need more in-depth detail on how to properly hoop your hat, go ahead and check that link below. Okay, so now we are officially back in the craft room. We just went ahead, we hooped our hat, and all that we're going to do at this point is we're going to install it on the machine. There are 3, you see that? There's 1 here, 1 on the opposite side, and then 1 below. You need to make sure all 3 of those physically hear a clips. So I'm gonna be really quiet so you guys can try to listen for it. You need to make sure all 3 of them clip in, otherwise it will create, you know, offset when you are embroidering. So you're just gonna stick it to the side. Ready? Okay. I don't know how good you probably heard that, but what I always do just to double check is I literally just touch it. If you guys see right here, it's not moving. If I unclipped it, you're gonna hear it, right? So now you don't hear it, and you do not. It'd be good if I hit it, and you do not hear it. That means all 3 are officially clipped in. So now all that we're gonna do is we're going to center it. So let's go ahead. We're going to trace our image. All right, I personally, let me bring you closer. When it comes to making sure that it is center, you guys will see this right here. I literally just bring the first one down, and I just make sure that the eye of the needle hits the center. And as you guys hopefully can see, we are centered. Now, I have not personally ran this sample anywhere. Like I said, I did buy extra hats in order to be my sample, so let's hope that this runs well. Hopefully you guys did see, I did send this off to my digitizer. I told him it was specifically for a hat, so let's hope that it was embroidered correctly. I have not had issues with this new digitizer, so let's hope that it continues. Also, like I mentioned again once before, this is a very simple image. It's honestly just wording, so there's really no like pictures. So hopefully it should go pretty smooth. Now this customer wanted black hats with white writing. So I've gone ahead, set it all up, centered it, and now all we have to do is press start, which is the part that I always get the most nervous about, but it has to be done, right? Like somebody has to do these. So let's go. All right, so there is the first mock-up hat done. Obviously, you guys can definitely tell I need to clean up some threading here, which is kind of normal at this point. I don't want to set like a high expectation that this should absolutely never happen. If you do feel that it shouldn't, again, leave comments below, guys. Let me know. Do I need to make adjustments to something that I need to do? Because I feel like this is almost common in almost all the projects I do. To be honest, I would say my black one is probably my worst one when it comes to like excess thread. But otherwise, I think my other colors are actually pretty good. And my husband stole my little pick, so hold on. All right, so this was the pick I was talking about. Highly recommend picking this up. It's at your local Walmart. It's like $3, like $3. And basically all that I'm doing is I'm just kind of loosening up the thread in between the letters just to try to make it look cleaner. Then once everything is taken care of, you're just going to take your lighter and you're just going to throw across it. And all that's going to do is it's just going to help with any loose pieces. You guys have to be careful with lighters on specific fabrics. I was finding out that certain fabrics was actually burning the product. So you guys should honestly just kind of be able to look at the product and kind of be able to tell. The best way to think about it is something that's like a sports tech material, something with like a little bit of a stretch. I feel like you for sure cannot burn those at all. I actually did business shirts for my brother, thank heaven, and I think I burnt like 2 of his shirts. Because at first I was like, oh, like I didn't, apparently I just think, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. And then the second time around I was like, why is this happening? So, all right. Oh, by the way, another tip that I did learn, and I did not apply, is you need to reduce your speed. So I had it at 720. I'm gonna drop it down to 650. Definitely reduce the speed when it comes to hats, just because the image is obviously going to be typically smaller than you would put on, you know, t-shirts. Then, you know, you don't want as much bouncing and vibration being done. So there is the hat all cleaned up, looks really good. I'm curious, have you guys actually heard of Burn Boot Camp? It's actually a chain, to be honest with you, and they have multiple locations. I actually used to go to it when they first ever opened up, and I absolutely loved it. And then the trainer that I loved ended up leaving, and she went to a location closer to her, which is funny because she's the one who reached out to me to make these shirts. So, all right. Then here's the back, and all you gotta do honestly is just, like, seriously, pull it right out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that's what the inside of the hat looks like. So just flip that back down, buckle this back up. This can be very time consuming, this part, but it's the nature of the beast. It's all good. It all pays off in the end when you get a good looking product. Oh, I don't know if I told you. It took like 6 minutes and 38 seconds, so I'm just gonna round it to a good 7 minutes to make one hat. And again, I have 20, so you do the math. But yeah, what do you think? Looks really good. I like it. I'm gonna actually, oh, I think this is, ooh, that's way too tight for me. You like it? All right. All right, another helpful tip I will let you guys know, this actually came from the Ricoma rep directly. What he actually told me to do, and I also did talk about it in the Ricoma tip video, the one I told you had a lot of views. The guy actually told me not to trace it every single time, because what ends up happening is it actually will move the placement of the hat. So basically, if you outline it, it could potentially move the position, and you want every hat to match the exact same. So what he told me to do is just go to thread. You're gonna hit, or excuse me, not thread. No, you're not. Ignore that part. You're gonna go to needle. You're gonna hit 1. It's going to bring it back to needle 1, which is the dead center, the zoom up I did for you guys. I'm gonna pull that down, and then at that point, I'm just going to shift it left or right to center, and I am gonna drop the image just a little bit. I'm curious if you guys picked up on that as well, where I kind of felt like it was a little too high. So that's good. And I did change the color on accident. Yes, I put it back on the correct one. And let's go. And again, I dropped the speed, so now it's gonna take longer than that 7 minutes. So now I'm really curious. All right, so I just wanna let you know, I went ahead and I dropped that speed like I mentioned in the last clip. It took me about, let's just say 8 minutes total. So I added 1 minute in order to drop the speed. Again, we still got to do the cleanup, but so far everything is running smoothly. And the nice thing about having 2 of these hat hoops is honestly, as soon as one is done, I can plop the other in. I was just asking my husband how long he thinks it'd take. He said 2 hours and 10 minutes, but that's not including me hooping it, swapping it out, or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is let's just move it and groove it. So more than likely I will not get all these done tonight, but ideally I would like to get probably 10 done, I think is what my brain is telling me. So then therefore I'll be halfway through. Tomorrow I can get the other 10 done and we'll be golden. Alright guys, so I was actually able to complete all 20 hats in one night, which I'm very proud of myself. Basically, all that I kept doing is just, swap, go, swap, go, swap, go. And in between, I went ahead and I was watching a little bit of The Big Bang. I was doing a lot of cleanups with the hats. But overall, I'm really excited. It didn't take me too long, especially with just the one machine, just because we are working with such a simple image. So as you guys can see, that is the outcome. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm gonna go ahead and contact the client so we can go ahead and get these dropped off as soon as possible. So if you guys are enjoying these videos, I would like for you to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next project. Bye everyone. Did pick up 5 additional hats just for mistake purposes. So we're gonna go ahead and redo this clip because my husband just called me. Yes, my love. And I feel like I'm rambling way too long, and we're at 2 minutes. We're gonna redo this entire clip. My portfolio of availability. I don't like the way in which I'm saying this.